Okay, I've just dropped a notification on the Discord. So now that's live, let me set up the chase. So, I do need to test what happens when tornadoes go off the map. So maybe we will play with a 10-kilometer map just to test that. Generate a map. See, any places where it'd be useful to have. There's quite a nice grid here. Lots of nice options north and south. Maybe having this connected to the rest of the map would be useful. There we go. Maybe having that connected to there as well. There we go. Cut a little corner out of each cornfield. But it just makes navigating a bit easier. Yeah, I think that'll be a decent map for a chase. So, the first change that's been made is with the cape, you'll notice that there's now smoothing on it. So instead of just having harsh boundaries, it blends between the different colours. So it says something between 4,000 and 6,000. Helicity is just the same, it's still just kind of the cross hatching. And then the other thing, big change, is that Rainbow does stuff. Gave me a lot of equations and example code in Lua. I was able to translate that into Unity C#. So what they've managed to do is hit the perfect balance between realistic equations, so that it very realistically matches what a tornado vortex does, but they're also very performant as well. So you could, obviously that balance could go either way. You could have something that's really performant but not very realistic, and you could have something, speaking of the devil, I was just explaining, hello there Rainbow does stuff, just explaining you've managed to hit the perfect balance between performance and realism with the equations and the code that you sent me. So that's in the game now. I haven't added the noise yet. I tried that just before, but I had to revert the code. I'd have to tweak a lot of the parameters to make it look smooth and look realistic. So I just reverted that. But if I hit preview chase, what you'll see now is that the wind field is smoothed as well, and it's using updated physics equations. So it's hard to see on this tornado. Maybe I'll drop the cape down a bit. But what happens is, in the direction that the tornado is moving, you'll see it's stronger on the right-hand side in the direction it's moving. And that the subvortices circle around the radius of maximum wind. And we've got a somewhat realistic fall-off. Had to kind of tweak that by hand because the original equations were meant for the enhanced Vegeta scale, and this is using the Vegeta scale, which so overestimates the higher-end wind speeds, but also underestimates the lower-end ones. It's doing some crazy stuff there. But I think overall just looks a lot better. Looks more organic, more realistic. Just a lot more interesting, better than just like the 5 basic colours which were there. So this also translates into the actual physics in the game as well. So you'll get different wind fields depending on how close you are. So it's a deciding which direction the wind vector points in. So you've got your circumferential winds, radial winds in, and then the axial winds blowing up as well. So this looks like a decent chase. So let's hit play and see how it goes. First thing I'm going to do as well, delete all progress. There we go. Got a return to main menu button here, and the way data's gathered is different now. So somebody immediately just maxed out career mode and finished it in like a day, I think it was. And the way they did that is each type of data, so wind speed, pressure, temperature, dew point, each of those would pay more. So as soon as you unlock the next one up, there's no point really. Why would you ever collect wind data once you unlock pressure data and so on? So they just unlock the dew point data and then just max that out. So what I wanted to do was create something which actually balances the game more. So what it does is it now rewards having depth and breadth of data a lot more. So when you come to create data, and my wife's happily reminded me that this first step was her idea, is that so let's say just the wind data type, for every sample you have in each of the Vegeta categories, that increases the multiplier here on the left. Hello Neon. Just explaining the new stuff. We've got the new physics by Rainbow, and we're going to test that out, and then we've got the new data pricing calculation. So for each data type, you calculate a multiplier, which is just how many data samples you have in each of the F categories. Then what we'll do for each, when we're actually caching in for each of the F categories, we'll look at the smallest number that's not 0 in this column. We'll then take a batch. So what we're trying to do is take as many samples from each of these as you can. So for example, if you had 5, 4, 3, 2, you would take 2 samples out of each of these and figure out how much they'd cost, and then multiply it by 4, since you have 4 data types here. Then each of these is then multiplied by the Vegeta category for each of these types. It would then subtract that, so you'd end up with 3, 2, 1. You'd then take 1 of temperature, 1 of pressure, 1 of wind. You multiply by 3 for that. You'd then have 2 and 1, so we'd take wind and pressure, and then you'd be left with a single wind sample. So lucky you don't really have to worry about it, the exact calculation. I can describe it more in the Discord, but the simplest way of putting it is, if you have data samples in every Vegeta category, you're going to get more money. For each Vegeta category, if you have data samples of different data types, you're going to have more money as well. So enough of that, let's take a look at the radar. That's not very helpful. Let's switch to velocity. Yeah, I had to think of a way that was easy. Oh, we've got the wall cloud right in front of us there. Had to think of a way which kind of encouraged you to spread out the data types, so that it's a bit more scientific. You're trying to collect a variety of data. Oh, let's say it's touching down already. Let's turn velocity off because it's touching the map. Right, we'll take the second left. Yeah, you're going to earn a lot more money as well, so what I'm probably going to have to do is rebalance the prices for things. So we'll take this next left here. So what we want to be paying attention to is the update. So the wind field's now smoothed, and in the direction that it's moving, you'll have stronger winds. So as it's moving along the ground, you have stronger winds along the direction it's moving and weaker winds. So you think it's rotating while translating. So if it's rotating in the same direction that it's translating, you have stronger winds on that side. It also impacts the subvortices as well. Let's figure out our intercept plan here. Also, it took a bit of tweaking, but what I've done is I'm getting a bit close to this one over here. See, those wind turbines are really cranking. What I've done is trying to make this white circle match the actual funnel radius, and because how it's rendered and how the size is calculated are two separate bits of logic, so I've tried to match those up as close as I can. It's not exact, but it's much closer than it was before. So I'm not sure if we can get ahead of it here. We may need to go off-road. We're can watch. So before I forced the debris to purposefully orbit the funnel, so I kind of limited how close we could get to the center. Now it's just using the full equations for realistic tornado wind speed provided by Rainbow. So we're going to see how well it behaves. I've got to say it's already looking better. Now we've got our first, I think we've got 2 sub-vortices here. And they orbit the radius of max wind, which I'd never realised. I thought they were just kind of randomly placed somewhere in the middle. I didn't realise that's actually where all the wind converges. That's where they end up forming, around there. Will progress transfer over to the new versions? Yes, it will. So you don't have to delete it. It just means that if you've kind of had a bit of an easy run, and then the difficulty gets harder. I haven't rebalanced it yet, so if the difficulty gets harder, it just means you've saved a bit of time. Right, 40-mile-an-hour winds. Right. We need to drop it like right there. Whoa, that was close. Got tractor tumbling, veil of hair. Right, that's a quick deploy, and then pull up the probe camera. Not sure which direction it's in. There we go. So now our only thing we need to do here is get out of the path. And just enjoy watching the debris get ripped apart. Oh, is it weakening? Looks like it's weakening to me. Yeah, it definitely is. Of course we do that right before it hits my probe. We've only got F1 samples, so there's no point selling anything yet. Just roped out on us. Well, what we're going to do, let's get ahead of it. Quick recall, head north. The war cloud's still rotating. Will that be where to choose where you spawn? I probably should add that. Like when you generate the map, there should just be some way, like maybe right-clicking on the tile you want to spawn on, otherwise it just defaults. I think if we cut left along this cornfield here, we should be in the path. Dying out again. It's a strong environment. I think it's just bad luck because the tornado doesn't necessarily follow the environment. It can move against it just to keep you on your toes. So it seems like it's roped out, then it'll suddenly plant down and grow massive within seconds. So it looks just like right now. Might be weakening a bit. Was it strengthening? So you can see it's moving this direction, so the right hand side we've got stronger winds on the right hand side than on the left. Just like in real life and in damage surveys. Oh yeah, because the way the logic works is the tornado can only spawn within the map, and it's got to spawn within a certain distance of you. So if you're near the edge of the map, it can also force it. Oh, the winds are getting strong quickly. Force it nearer the edge of the map more often. One thing I didn't think of is I think if you drive outside the map, it has to place the tornado. Say if you're at the beginning, it has to place it within 1 kilometer of you. So if you go more than 1 kilometer off the map, I'm worried the game might just lock up and crash. So I definitely need to fix that. Also had somebody contact me, they had a crash to desktop, which is the first I've ever seen of it. They were really helpful. They sent me the crash dump and the log file. Looks like it has something to do with, I think it's not Vegetation Studio. I forget what it's called. So now I have that problem with the vegetation randomly disappearing. It looks like it's linked to that. So on my PC, the vegetation just disappears and then randomly respawns. It looks like it's causing the crash to desktop in their case. There was a little hidden property somewhere on the terrain called something like auto refresh on load. Which meant like every time the terrain tile was loading, it was like loading the height map again, loading the vegetation details of where vegetation should spawn. There's no need for that. Like you only need that if the tiles are actually changing. And since the prefabs, that doesn't happen. So I've disabled that as well. So we'll see if we get the vegetation disappearing less often, and hopefully the side effect of that will be helping that user with their crash to desktop issues. So let's see, probe camera is actually even moving towards the probe. No, it's turned. Right. I think this is going to be risky, but I reckon we just bridge across from this road. Oh yeah, if you can crash into stuff now. Push it out of the way. Right, so we just need to head exactly west and get ahead of it. The rope tornadoes be added. So, I haven't created a way yet to have the tornadoes kind of like bend, kind of like a rope tornado. You can get narrower tornadoes though, so the max width of each tornado is randomized, and the width scales with the wind speed. So as the tornado moves along the map, it'll essentially absorb cape and helicity, and its wind speed will increase. And then the width is tied as a random ratio of that wind speed. So that means, let's come straight in here, that narrower kind of like stovepipe style tornadoes and kind of ropes can form as well, just randomly. Right, I think we're in the wrong position here. So we want to actually, since it's using the real logic, we want to position ourselves towards the side of the funnel that's rotating towards us rather than the exact center. So you watch out for that ninja star coming straight towards us. I've also purchased an asset. It was on a flash sale. It was like 70% off. Then I had a coupon code to get an additional 25% off. So it only cost like $4, but it's got 300 like high quality storm sound effects. So everything from rain, wind, hail impacts as well. So I think when you're in the truck and you're inside hail core, I can add that sound effect. So there'll be loads. I've purchased it, but I haven't checked it out yet. Like, I haven't put it into the project. Is it going to turn to the right again now that I've deployed? You'd think I'd put logic in there so it purposely dodges the probe, but I don't. I'm just having terrible luck. Grass disappears randomly. Takes 2 to 5 minutes to spawn if it stands still. Oh yeah, you won't be trapped by fences. Yeah, so the first time you crash into them, it kind of activates the physics. So you'll crash into them, they'll move a little bit. You'll then need to go and drive into it again. It'll just push the fence posts out the way. This makes things a lot more difficult. Barely see it. When you got 2 data types, might as well get at least 1 in each, because then it's going to multiply however much I'd usually earn by 5. Looks like it's expanding again. See, let's just leave it. Hopefully we get a nice slice of the wind field here. Death screen to this game, tad more difficult. Well, I add the death screen to add more difficulty, and I toggle in the menu to turn off. Yeah, I need to figure out exactly how death's going to work in the game. Because I was thinking you could either just disable it completely, have what I call kind of like a soft death, which is rather than dying, you'll have either some money subtracted or some samples removed, or maybe one of your upgrades will get downgraded. Oh, getting F4 samples. So I think that's punishment, so that you don't just want to drive into the tornado, but not so frustrating that it completely ends your chase. But I guess you can have it as an option, so that if your impact's above a certain strength, it ends your chase right there. In F3 samples. So let's just compare this to the map. It might be on the inner core because the winds are kind of like a ring now with like a calm center. Oh, we didn't get F5 samples though. Oh, there goes a wind turbine. So Rainbow agrees, making it just knock you down a level or two is definitely the way to do it. To do it based off the health bar. Oh yeah, so it could kind of be... let me just take a screenshot here. That's quite cool. Oh, I just missed that lightning strike. Apologies, 1 second, it'll freeze for a second just while I take the screenshot. And then I get a power flash and a lightning strike right after the screenshot. So like the health bar... Yeah, it could be different levels, so the health bar depletes, and then once that's empty, then it starts taking off, say, money. Or it could be randomized as well, so once you could lose money, could lose data samples if you've got them. Oh, well, it's just landed right near us. So you could lose samples, money, upgrade levels, and then I guess if you had absolutely nothing left to lose, then maybe then, at that point, you'd die. So kind of if your truck just gets rolled across the map and you just got repeated impacts, you'll just watch as all your upgrades get downgraded. You know, that could be too brutal because if you've worked all the way up to Professor and then you just get dragged around the funnel for like 10 minutes and just end right back up at level 1, that would be a bit too frustrating for people. Okay, we're not getting anything here. Quick recall. Yeah, it was based on impacts and using the Unity physics engine for that. I used the impact strength, whereas I think using the impact velocity would probably make a lot more sense. You watched the Twister 996 version. Yeah, that's like, if you like tornadoes, you have to watch the original Twister. Like, it's just like a mandatory thing. I don't want to get too close. Plenty of debris orbiting around, though. So I could sell this data. It's a 4 times multiplier, so that's worth it. So $4,000 for that. So we can immediately get some upgrades. Upgrade the speed on the paved road. Problets. The wind sampling rate. We haven't discovered any anomalies yet though, so kind of limited on the other upgrades. can see a silhouette of the trees and the wind turbine there. Not quite sure how that's happening. That's close. Okay, we're kind of within the debris field now. Bale of hay. Let's see if we can see any cows. Let's see if we can name them. And we've got a trailer, another solar panel, more solar panels. There's got to be a cow in here somewhere. More bales of hay. Get a little bit closer. Got some trees. Whoa, that was close. There's another trailer from a tractor. Good thing those bounce. Can't believe I haven't seen a single cow yet. Got a ninja star there. Oh, it's 140 miles an hour. This is the speed I start to get pulled in. I wonder if I can angle it to the right to try and use the wind to my advantage. Kind of escape from the wind field. How fast am I going? I'm only going 60 miles an hour, 40 mile an hour winds. I'm making the car shake in these winds, not fully flat but shake. Suspension. I'd have to figure out how to do that. There is some suspension logic in there, so it should be doable. I have to figure out how to do that. Well, let's see if we be the first people to get a flying cow on the stream. A lot of hay. Solar panel there sliding along the ground. Oops, I'm getting too close again. I'm getting pulled in. Just doing a casual 360. Oh, we're going to go for a 720. Oh, and something else which I can show if I land on the roof. Yeah, I hit the R key and it just snaps me the right way up. Which is useful. How come I haven't seen a cow yet? I want to see a cow flying. Is that a cow? If it is, it's definitely dead. Okay, we can test the reset button now. So outside the bounds of the map, I want to make sure that everything despawns properly. The shaking thing would naturally have applied an angular velocity to the vehicle in a rolling motion. Yeah, be more realistic by actually twisting and rolling the vehicle rather than lifting it. Yeah, because it's more like a witch riding a broom when it takes off right now, rather than like a vehicle being flung by a tornado. Let's drive towards the debris, see if we can spot a cow. Am I in the path? Oh, a little bit, yeah. It's a bit easier to see what the debris is when you're going at the same speed as it. One thing I could do, so for a couple of the cow models that I've got, the eyes are separate from the rest of the cow model. So I could actually have the eyes get sucked out of the eye sockets first before the cow goes flying. I'm gonna look at disgust here from my wife. You'd have to be standing right next to it to even notice that it's happening. I'm just saying, given the game and the physics and the modelling, it is possible to do it that way. I wonder if cows orbit at a different radius. Because the bales of hay are lighter than cows. Should I try and drive closer to the tornado? So the reason I just started looking for cows is I thought this was about to go off the map and it's made this last minute turn. Like a barn door there. Seen almost every destructible object in the game except cows so far. We're collecting a lot of good data though. Let's sell that. Oh, we've got 3 anomalies. We're like almost to master's degree already. Upgrades. So let's get pressure data. Upgrade that, upgrade that. I think emphasizing the probe upgrades first is probably best. So I'm just messing about here, just waiting for it to go off the map. It looks like it's taking us out. It's going right to the edge of the map. Looks like it's coming back in the map. So let's try and do another intercept then. Right. Zoom in. Then I can use the quick deploy menu when I'm perfectly in front of it. So Tornado's giving us a helping hand here. We want to be about here. Okay, then we want to escape. Let's escape through the cornfield like the end of Twister. No, it's struggling in these winds. .24 miles an hour. And that's moving 10 miles an hour, so we are getting away. If I go kind of southeast, we will hit the road. It's just whether the tornado hits us first. Let's have a look from the probe camera point of view. Getting F3 strength and it's not even near. Watch it from here. Some power flashes. This is making me really want to add the zoom lens for the VHS camera. Just so we can spot the cows. It looks like we were just a bit too far to the south. Okay, quick recall, we're going to go into the cornfield. Fly that way. So we need to head northeast. Yep. So we'll head this way, so we're gaining a bit of distance between us and the tornado. I want to deploy about here. That's maybe north-northeast. There we go. I want to deploy right about there. Or actually, it's not the centre anymore, is it? We want to be on like, the right-hand flank of it. Quick deploy. VHS filter should make the screen have a 4:3 ratio black box overlay. Oh yeah. It's a good idea. We'll let you just have to add a couple of rectangles and show in front of the camera lens. Well, I may be able to switch the screen mode to 4:3. I don't know if that might cause other UI glitches. I could experiment with that. Oh no, because what it'll do is it'll do 4:3, but probably do something weird and force it to still be the 16:9 ratio. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think 4:3 aspect ratio is definitely more fitting for VHS. Kind of struggling to get out of the path now. 101 mile an hour. Okay, I think we need to start angling so we're kind of moving away from the tornado. It's a bit stressful. Imagine this in real life. You're crawling at 20 miles an hour through a cornfield at night. You've got a massive F5 wedge bearing down on you. You can see it. It pretty much fills up the entire back window. And you're just crawling away from it. I did have an idea for a multiplayer horror game where you have like a randomly generated kind of like corn maze, but not like a corn maze, but you have like rows that are cut out of it. And you've got like 5 or 6 players who you just have to run around and survive, and one player who's just in a combine harvester. You've just got to survive. But obviously, the more that they drive around, the more that map opens up and the less places there are to hide. Or fewer places there are to hide, I guess is correct to say. Yeah, so there's a few ways to get the 4:3 aspect ratio. I could either just set it in Unity, but I'm not sure if it'll get the exact effect that I want. Or what I could do is just have two rectangles which show up on a canvas in front of the camera. So we're getting F2 strength. Maybe we didn't place quite right. It's picking up again though. Gotta remember, before the inside the tornado was all max wind speed, but more realistically now, it's got a radius of max wind right at the perimeter of the tornado. It kind of trails off in both directions. So did we get any F5 data through all that? Oh, okay, excellent. We're still getting F4 data. Looks like we'll get F5. Come on, just 6 more miles an hour. 5, 4. Oh, yes. That was bright power flash, that one. And more F5, I'm just going to let it collect. Oh, I should maybe try and get some pressure data as well, but it looks like it is actually going to probably go off the map this time. So maybe I hold off on cashing out. And what I'll do is I'll collect the probe, switch to pressure data. And then we'll get 2 lots of bonus multipliers. We'll get the 5 times multiplier for this, 5 times multiplier for pressure, and then we'll also get the 2 times multiplier for having multiple data types for each of these. I just want to check that it doesn't take ages to actually despawn, because before there's an issue, the wall clouds won't actually dissipate. I just need to take another screenshot, that looks quite cool. Okay, so again, F1 data. So just get another screenshot there, that's not the game hanging. Okay, quick recall. Should we go for another intercept? I think I should get back towards the middle of the map, somewhere where the road network's good. Otherwise it's just going to spawn again in the corner. So let's get, I don't know, down to here and along this way. I want to get as far away from the edge of the map as I can. So you can see the path of the subvortices. You see the very circular here. They're not kind of like that almost roller coaster loop shape. That's just because the tornado is moving so slowly. Oh, there we go. Maybe I should get some truck upgrades as well. Oh, I don't have enough. I realize this balance is not in sync with what's on the upgrade page. I need to fix that. Yeah, it's starting to rope out now, so let's get towards the middle of the map. Then we'll take the next left and at least get down to here. There it is. One thing that's helpful is that the tornado does blend into the wall cloud. The wall cloud can't physically blend with the cell above it, just the asset I'm using for it can't blend between volumes, but it's not as noticeable, the edge between the wall cloud, because it kind of fans out like that. You can't actually tell there's a hard edge there between the top of the wall cloud and the bottom of the cell, so I think that's worked out quite well. Yeah, let's get towards the center, so I think we take the next right. Maybe take out the fence just to show that you can do it. Hope I look more scuddy or rough. Yeah, there will be. So right now what I do is I take whatever strength the noise is for the tornado funnel and multiply it by, I think it's by 0.25, so essentially dividing it by 4. Maybe I need to tune that up a bit. We'll have some secondary noise that just the wall cloud uses. Yeah, I've got a little rope there. Then we'll see the wall cloud start to disappear in a second. Hopefully. If they did fix that bug that I saw on Neon's stream. Don't think I need the headlights now, it's plenty bright. Well, that wall cloud's disappearing quickly. I want to take the next left. Cell's disappearing quickly as well, so I want to position myself away from this just so I can actually see the updated trails. I think the new cell's already formed and it's right above us, so let's just stop this intersection and make a plan. So first thing, before I forget, let's switch to pressure data. Need to add a lock or something for that so it stops dropping down whenever I drive. So the velocity radar will help with this. It's going to spawn near the edge of the map again. I guess I didn't get far enough away. We don't know which direction it's moving though. It could be moving down this way. What I could do, well, I don't want to restart actually because then I'll lose all the data. Got the wall cloud coming into view there. I need to upgrade the radar a bit as well. Let's take this right here. Rain noise is a bit loud, isn't it? I need to dial that down a bit. put something down. Don't know which direction it's moving yet though. It's already a third of a mile wide, it's only a few seconds old. I think, is it coming this way? Hard to tell because it's increasing in size as it's moving. Am I in the path? It's hard to tell. Oh, the winds are getting strong here. Let's just throw that over there. I'm going to reverse a little bit. Yeah, the winds are getting really strong. Actually reversing quickly in real life is a lot harder than it seems. I told a story a while back. I had to reverse down this really narrow country road downhill when I was in Wales. There's a tractor came the other way, and it's really hard to stay centered in the road, and I think I kept the clutch pushed in a bit too much, so I built up a lot of speed, and the tyres ended up like spinning in the mud at the side of the road. Even though I kept trying to recenter the car towards the center of the road, it kept drifting, and it's hard to correct when you're moving quickly. So I'd imagine trying to do it under pressure with a tornado approaching you would be any easier. Okay, getting a lot of stuff flying this time. Oh, I think I'm a bit too close. Oh, there goes a tree. Come on. I think you can see the tyres skidding like hard to the right. But I'm not actually moving that direction. There's some slip there. Watch out for the ninja star. So this one's 0.8 of a mile wide. I definitely want to try and intercept this one. How's the probe doing? Probe camera F5. Okay, we're just going to keep that where it is. And I'm going to try and strategize and figure out how we can get ahead of it. It looks like it's moving this way. I can't really go north. If I go north towards it, I'm just going to get pulled in. I think we'll bridge across to here and then bridge across to there. So go off road for a bit, get on road, get the speed up, and then head that way. Look at that. So any one of these dots you see flying around the funnel could be a cow. I think I missed the road. Probably still getting F4, but let's try and place in front of it again. Make sure I'm collecting the right type of data as well. Yeah, we're going to need a lot of money with this one. I'm going to keep heading this way, and then I want to start heading north a little bit. Let's head northeast, so we're getting where we want to be. I'd say about here, but still keeping distance from the funnel. Turn full north now. Oh, it's shrinking a bit, 0.6 miles, 0.8 before. maybe get onto this corner of road so we can at least have a chance of escaping as well. Oh, it's getting close quickly. This 24 miles an hour is painfully slow. How's the probe doing? F2, so we'll do a quick recall. I'm going to deploy again. I think here's perfect. Let's do a manual deployment. Let's go quickly. Let's see what have we got more of, wind data or pressure data. Definitely got more wind data. Right, time to go. I think it's turned again. It's turned more southeast. Should I sell the data now? I feel like I should sell the data now and then buy a bunch of upgrades. So this should earn us quite a bit of money. Yeah, $113,000. So yeah, and I'm a PhD now as well. Velocity's going insane. Right, upgrades. What upgrades do I want to get? Oh, we can unlock temperature data and dew point. Okay. We can increase the ratings on each of these. Let's upgrade the truck a bit as well. Definitely want to increase the off-road speed, on-road speed, engine power. Yeah, I didn't. Let's increase the radar image quality. You can see those pixels are a little bit smaller than they were before. Send hard south there. Okay, I think if we go around, so let's get back in the truck. Where's the truck? Do a quick recall. Keep heading east. Turn right, and we'll try and go for an intercept somewhere along here. With a new improved truck. Did I increase the engine power as well? We've got a bit better acceleration and higher top end speed. Then maybe we'll take the second right, just so we've got a bit more buffer, safety buffer between us and the tornado funnel. So not this right, but the next right coming up. Then we could even take that left there to get more margin, get a bit more time for a better placement. I think I need to turn the path deviance down from, I think it was 2 degrees per second to 3 degrees per second. Sorry, from 3 degrees per second down to 2 degrees per second. I've missed my left turn, let's take the next left. Actually, I don't even know if we need to. I think we've got enough space to do an intercept along here. Let's even take this right to get a little bit closer. Escape route though, that doesn't leave us with any escape route. Yeah, so instead let's just do it a bit more realistically. I'm going to deploy here. This would be an extremely reckless deployment because what we'll have to do if we did this in real life, because we'll have to retrace our steps to escape, place ourselves needlessly in the path of the tornado. I think we're set up for a good intercept here. Okay, let's see from the pro point of view. And I think I will have to make this my last intercept because it's getting quite late. It's almost 11 PM here local time. F3. F4. Yeah, I think we're going to get F5 samples pretty soon. F5, there we go. Look at that, that's perfect placement there. And it's strengthened as well. It was 0.6 of a mile when it was up here, now it's 0.7. Let's turn the truck lights off. Actually, can't see anything. Point 8 now. Maybe there should be a way to remotely switch data types. Automatically, like have an upgrade where it'll automatically cycle through multiple data types. Then that would kind of defeat the point of doing repeated intercepts. Yeah, might as well leave that. You don't want to automate the fun out of the game. I can't remember which game designer said it, but they said given enough time, players will optimise the fun out of the game. So that's one of like the biggest design challenges. Because instinctively, if there's a mechanism to level up or progress in a game, you want to do it as efficiently as possible. So why wouldn't you optimise as much as possible? But then once you do that, the game then also loses its fun as well. So it's that balancing act between not having the game too grindy, because then people get bored, but equally if it becomes too easy and formulaic and you're just repeating the same formula and just earning loads each time, then that's also not good. The goal is to keep people in that flow state where it's just the right amount of challenge. Still getting F4 samples. I think we can get closer. The winds are only 80 miles an hour. This is a little bit dangerous. I think I've accidentally put us in the path. I'll try and stay out of the rain. It's quite loud, isn't it? kind of want to drive into that. See what happens. Let's hit R to reset. Oh, there's our probe actually. Wasn't even planning on that. Where is it? Might as well pick it up and put it back in. Wind turbines are failing. Let's get closer. I want to see at least one flying cow before the end of the stream. Is that one? No, that's a tractor. Look out for any cows. surprised at how much debris there is, and the computer's not even lagging at all, even though I'm streaming. That was close. I think that's a cow. That's a cow. Yeah, definitely a cow. Poor thing. Just look out for that wheel of death. There's another. Is that a cow? Looks like a cow. I think I can see 4 legs. For houses and radio towers. Ooh, radio tower. I didn't think of that. Well, there's plan for radio tower now. Yes, and there will be houses. I want to do that in the next couple of weeks. It's gonna get loud. I've had my AirPods for a few years now, and the battery life's noticeably degraded now. Oh yeah, there's another cow tumbling. Will there be ponds? Yes, there will be ponds, but say ponds, probably lakes. I think a pond would be a bit too small. My wife's laughing at me because that's actually her who's joined the chat. She keeps, in reality, she keeps asking me when I'll add ponds. I think it's because she just wants to see ducks or something in the game. So yeah, I'll add ponds and ducks just for my wife. I'm just enjoying the chaos. I think this should just be a screensaver. Another cow. Cow doing a kickflip. Well, I guess the tornado's doing a kickflip with the cow. Yep, there we go. Got a realistic cow bounce implemented. I imagine that cows bounce if you throw them hard enough. The game is not even lagging one bit, even with this much physics going on. Let's just leap over the mountain into the tornado winds. I say mountain, it's a hill. Another cow. Or maybe it's the same one. Looks like the vegetation rendering can't keep up with how fast I'm moving across the map. It's good to see that we're an hour and 15 minutes into the stream and this is the first vegetation rendering bug which we've seen. It's almost like Saturn with its rings. Except instead of rock, it's solar panels and cows and tractors and stuff. I think it's, again, there's another good screenshot candidate. Of course, it would pose it there, wouldn't it? See, I can zoom out a bit. And I got some of the power flash in. There we go. You can see all the debris kind of clustered into one band around the tornado. Yeah, the sun's starting to set. I think I will have to call it a night. So before I do that though, I need to cash in all this data. $48,000 worth. Debris ring, yeah. Thinking of rings, this means something around planets, not tornadoes. But yes, because if it picks up the truck, as the truck moves along the map, more stuff loads in. So if you get picked up, you're going to see more debris than if you just chase it normally. Yeah, I'm going to have to call it a night now because it's 11:15. I'm very tired. Had a lot of fun chasing. I don't think I'll push the update tonight. There's still a few more things I want to tweak before sending the update out. But hopefully tomorrow evening, maybe about 24 hours from now, I can put out an update. Thank everybody for joining in tonight. I'll probably not go live tomorrow night. I'll probably work on the update and then just send that live. But yeah, thank you for interacting. Join in if you haven't already. Like and subscribe so you know when I next go live. And join the Discord as well because I put a notification on there a few minutes before. But yeah, I'm going to sign off now.